Have y'all ever had one of those deja vu moments, like you swear you've seen it before? Yeah, this is kind of how I'm feeling right now. I feel like I've sandblasted this tank before, so I don't know why it feels so familiar. Yeah, I'm sandblasting it again. I've got everything. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I have to clean this out. So what I mean when I say clean it out is down here gets gunked up with stuff. So I bought a little air nozzle to put on the end of the gun for the compressor, and I just kind of reverse the flow and shoot air back into the tank and out the top, and hopefully that clears up whatever's stuck in this tube. And I closed off both of these, so this one's closed off and this one's closed off, so it should go straight through the tank. So do that, reverse flow it, hopefully it clears out whatever's in there, and then also shoot some through the line, because there could also be stuff in there. There's been a lot of times where, if this will focus, there's like little rocks and things that'll get stuck in the nozzle itself. So I've had to clean that out, and that's easier than this. So hopefully this fixes the problem, but I'll clean out both. Hopefully it doesn't jam or get gunked up in the time it takes to do this tank. But yeah, get this done and hopefully get it re-primed tonight. As far as the white goes, it was funny. I was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe this is God telling me to choose another color. But I'm gonna continue to use the white. I'm gonna do the white again. And I got an automotive white, kind of like the automotive black that I used for the frame in the Honda videos. But I did find an automotive white gloss, and I'm thinking that's gonna be a little bit more protective as far as UV protection and gas resistance as well. But let me get into this, get this compressor going, and start this this whole process. Let me see if I can get this in one crank. Let me get my good arm here. But it's on. This is cold. This is cold. See, cold start, cold start. With one hand. Ooh. One more. Ooh, smell gas. Now this is just embarrassing. It's on. I'm just weak. Little bitch. There. Can you see that? One more. All right, let's get to it. Well, the sandblaster kept giving me problems and I couldn't get it to work. So you can kind of see I got a little bit, right? But it just kept getting clogged up. It just wasn't working. So I had to find another way to get the paint off. So I found this stuff. Ultra paint remover, heavy duty, and it works for all the stuff that I put on it. So I'm gonna try this, and I got these detail brushes. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dunk the detail brush in the paint remover and just lather it on there. And it says in 30 minutes, and I tried that sandblaster for like 2 hours. So if I can get this paint off with this stuff in a quarter of the time that I was fooling with the sandblaster, I'll be happy. But I do think that this is gonna work well. Not a big fan of chemicals, but you do what you gotta do, and I'm tired of messing with the sandblaster. So I'm gonna try it, and we're gonna see. All right, so I am back with the tank and the sandblaster. I couldn't get it to work for more than 5 seconds without it clogging. That's my own fault. I didn't sift through the sandblasting media prior to putting it back in the tank, and it was getting clogged up with little rocks and sticks and leaves and whatnot. It's my own fault, but I cleaned it out and I'm ready to sell it. I tried using the Aircraft Ultra paint remover, and it worked all right. You can see it got most of the white paint off and the clear coat, but the primer, and there was a little bit of base coat on there from the previous time it was painted, but it got a little bit of that off. You can kind of see here. So I resorted to the same sanding wheels, grinding wheels, whatever you want to call them, that I used on the Honda tank. And within 30 seconds, a minute, it's all the way down to the metal. So I'm gonna run with this This paint remover, it worked well when I dabbed the paint remover on there with a brush. I tried the whole using a paintbrush and doing like some stroking motions, and it didn't work as well. But I think the thicker the paint remover, the better it works. You can kind of see how it got most of it, but then in other areas, it didn't do very much. So I'm gonna get this all the way down to the bare metal and then hopefully have it primed up tonight. The gas cap and the ignition and the little trunk latch are all coming tomorrow. And then I have clear coat coming Saturday. So the goal is to have all of this ready to be clear coated Saturday so I can put the bike back together. I called the M4 exhaust people yesterday, and the website says it takes 7 to 10 days for processing, but the lady said it takes 10 to 12 days. And then I should receive a shipping confirmation either yesterday or today. Still haven't received a shipping confirmation. So we will see on that. And then obviously I still have to do the coolant and the brake fluid flush. I bought the stuff for the bleeder and the brake fluid stuff for the front and the rear. So I have some work to do in between now and Saturday, but I'm gonna get to this and I'll post a video before I start to prime it. For the second time, the gas tank for the Yamaha is done, and I think it looks better than the first time, if we're being honest. I started at 6 and I got done at 9, so 3 hours, and I even took the gas cap off and got underneath that. I was very careful to not get debris into the tank, but rather I used the velocity from the centrifugal velocity from the head itself to kind of whip it out instead of go down into the tank. It looks a lot better though. I'm very excited. I was gonna prime it tonight. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I did kind of clean it off with some steel wool, and then I have some sandpaper I can, kind of scratch the surface to get this primer to actually, really stick and bond to it. I'm hoping that I don't have to do this again, so I'm gonna learn from my mistakes and go a little bit slower this time. But I am very, very happy. And I painted the Honda tank today, so that is looking amazing. I don't want to touch it or get too close to it, but I did put 3 or 4 coats of the ruby red metallic on it, and the camera light doesn't do it justice. So I'll record another video tomorrow when the sun is up and while I'm priming the Yamaha tank, but I'm very happy with both of these tanks.